Greetings, Pathfinders! I'm your host, Dustin Knight, and welcome to Infiknight Reviews. Tonight, the latest and greatest Pathfinder and Starfinder Infinite reviews are being hosted live on the official Paizo Twitch channel. First, I do need to clarify that all views on this show are my own and have not been reviewed or endorsed by Paizo or any creators of these products. My ongoing goal is to showcase and review as many products on Pathfinder and Starfinder Infinite as possible. If you have any requests for products I haven't already given a thorough review, please feel free to contact me on social media or shout out here in chat. As an additional disclaimer and some news, I will be unveiling my new January release at the end of the show, which is my own product and is therefore only receiving a short preview. I'm grateful to be able to do that and in the position that I'm in, and if any other creators want me to shout out and show their work or even want a full-on review or interview, please, like I said before, go ahead and contact me. So is everyone ready to start the show? Alright, let's go. On to... Wow. Alright, so today we are going to be focusing on the newest, latest, greatest Pathfinder Infinite hit, Queerfinder. Queerfinder issue 1 was released just earlier this week, no, on January 22nd, so just 6 days ago, and has already received silver faster than any other product we've seen, community content product we've seen. They are currently having a launch celebration sale. You could get it for only $10 up through Valentine's Day, but on February 15th, it will go up to $12.99. Queerfinder is Golarian's premier travel magazine. This is the inaugural issue of the Queerfinder Society's travel magazine, a guide to Golarian from queer creators and allies focused on queer characters and stories. It's 78 pages long. It includes 3 detailed bars, 2 different Isle of Kortos winter traditions, great if you're in Absalom, anywhere in or around Absalom, 3 amazingly fun fiction tales, 2 adventures, 2 real-world recipes you can make for your table, 21 new items, 7 new stat blocks, a new background, and a new heritage for poppets. As they received copper in under 24 hours, they are going to be adding 10 reporter NPCs and some more story hooks within the next coming weeks, just some extra content with this product. In addition, they have mentioned that they are going to be releasing new issues after this, and I do want to point out that this also comes with maps. There are some amazing maps that you get along with this issue, so there's honestly so much cool stuff you get in this that could work into so many different campaigns, so I'm just going to kick right into it. Do want to point out it is being published by the Gallant Goblin. They've assembled a cast and crew of some amazing authors, and Gallant Goblin, you might know, they did the Kobold Plush Kickstarter. They do a lot on the Dungeon Masters Guild. You could find Queerfinder and more information about Gallant Goblin at queerfinder.org, which I believe right now links to the product. But we'll see a site up when they get more issues out on this amazingly cool project. So let's go ahead and check out what we got. All right. All right, so first thing I want to put off with this is this makes a great accessory to a campaign. If you're doing an in-world campaign, you could print this out and pass it around as a magazine that you actually get in character, and it's very immersive. It's really, really immersive and cool. I love the idea. We already know from the amazing cool Lost Omens Absalom book that they have printing presses, and there's a lot of I don't want to say rags, but magazines, newspapers, and what have you that you could get while you're in Absalom. So making this set in Absalom fits the setting just perfectly. As you can see up here, this is issue 1, Kuthonia, 4721. So I believe that would be December 4721, which would be the equivalent of 2021. So they're being released kind of it looks like they're going to be released timed in such a way that it will match the real world date, and you can imagine things as characters will advance in the setting with all these different writers that we'll get into. They'll probably be advancing along the same rate as APs and other adventures, which tend to be released at the same distance apart from one another as they were in World. Or to put it another way, Age of Ashes happened 1 year before ish 1 year before, I believe, Aegis of Edgewatch. Like the release dates are about the same as when things started to happen, at least in book 1. All right. So you can see first thing in here, they have all these great little ads, like The Brew That Birthed a God, Darklands Brewing Company, Kalian's Darklands Brewing Company, Starstone Ale. Like, they have these amazing, cool little ads here. It really feels like you're looking through a magazine here. It even suggests that you should open this in a 2-page view like I have here for your PDF if you're viewing it just digitally. I would love, I really do hope that the publisher... I hope, like, we could buy some of these from the publisher at PaizoCon or something. Like, that would be amazing if they printed these out on magazine paper and, like, sold them out there as, like, magazines. That would be really cool, because I'm loving this. There's so much cool stuff here. All right, so right off the bat, you get 4 new brews. Potion brews that great for anyone. Like, these are just really cool little items. They could, let you hover 1 foot above any solid or liquid surface for a minute, or once per minute, while it's active. Excuse me. There's another one that lets you, this is really smart. It's a potion, but while you have the potion, you can cast a spell, like, once while you're under the effects of the whiskey for, I believe it lasts 8 hours, which has a really clever way of doing spell casting. It's very flavorful, along with this whiskey placed in barrels of finest Verdrine oak, along with the bones of powerful Darkland beasts. And then, yes, the Flash Beetle one, for example, so it would be the brew fermented in old Flash Beetle, gives you Fairy Fire. The Mukrati gives you Lightning Bolt. The Vampire Bat gives you Sanguine Mist. That's really cool. Like, I think that's a really clever way of having scrolls that aren't scrolls. You don't always just want scrolls. Like, it's really cool to have these different ways of doing this. Yeah, they got Luck of the Tengu, which I got just a little shout out here. I believe, I could be wrong, like, maybe I'm just not remembering, but I think Luck of the Tengu is the first time that I have seen a +5 bonus in Pathfinder 2nd edition, and I've gone, yeah, I'm fine with that. Like, usually you should never get a +5 bonus. But what they did, and this is super clever, +5 item bonus to your next aid reaction. So it's not really a +5. It's a +5 to give a +2. I just, like, I don't know. Something about that really tickled my design, tickled me as a designer to see a +5. And, you know, once I see a +5, my head goes, oh, warning. And then I read what it's to, and I'm like, okay, that's cool. That's really cool. Like, and at first I'm like, oh, it's just 8. And then I went, oh, no, actually, that makes it really worthwhile. It's balanced. It's good. And the other one gives you a bonus to a +1 item bonus to fortitude saves. If you can drink it and not retch during a long period of time. I think that's really fun too. But all right, so here we have the inner cover. You have the contents, table of contents. Even that is done like traditional magazine. Just fabulous. You have ads throughout. Some of these ads are real, while some of them are for stuff like, as it said up there, Starstone Ale. But some of these are like we have here for the Beatles and Grimm. It's still done with some really fun little side bits. It's come to our attention that several recently released marketing goblins claim the Gold Edition box sets can cure ailments such as warts, pustules, and foot fungus. These claims cannot be verified at this time. I love that. You have a letter from the editor. Totally worth reading. Here we have Vanderipped Pickled Fish by Vanderipped Pickled Fish. Right here by, man, why is my brain dying? By Michelle Wynn Bradley. You might have seen her on the official Paizo channel. She does Adventures in Opara. Man, my brain just died. The beginner box, Troubles in Otari. Yes, she does a live play with the beginner box Trouble in Otari, and this is her character, and this is an interview with her character, having recently come to Absalom to sell her pickled fish. Talks about all the benefits of having pickled fish, how much they love pickled fish, how they get their fish, how they brine their fish. Then there's information here on stats for fish oil, which can effectively give you a +1 resilient armor for 2 minutes by putting it on your armor. Yes, as Yoda ate my head says, love the illustrations of her throughout. Yeah, I love these photos. Really, really love them. I've seen some products way back in the day, not even Pathfinder related, where they did costumes like this, and I wasn't a fan. But this is amazing looking. How they put these. I don't know. It looks really cool. It works so well for this. Here's another one right here on this page. So this article is done like an interview between I believe a Leshy named Year Round Light and Grizzle Vanderript Jr. talking about her fish, talking about setting up in Absalom. There's stats here for Grizzle Vanderript Jr. as a level 5 creature. Information here about where to watch their adventures on Troubles in Otari on the official Paizo YouTube channel. There's also stuff here. We have some magical pickled fish. You could use the pickling kit to ferment these fish. There's 2 alchemical items and 1 magical item. Magical item you have here is a senior pickled pike that gives you an item bonus to your perception checks and athletics checks and unarmed attacks for 1 minute, which seems really strong, but it's 75 gold. And hey, it's pickled pike. Like, it's totally worth it just to have the pickled pike. Got pickled crab, give you some bonuses to your AC as a consumable alchemical item, and pickled anchovy gives you some temporary hit points as, again, an alchemical item. My big takeaway from here, though, is I love this fish oil. Love the idea of a consumable that gives you stronger armor temporarily, or you can put it in your hair to grease up your hair so people think it looks more beautiful, and you'll get a bonus to make an impression. Like the versatility and verisimilitude of that is really strong. And yes, the layouts right here of these, I don't know, is my mouse showing on the stream? I don't know, but the layouts of these over here are real nice. Like, it totally feels like a magazine. It's really nice there. Oh, there's also a fishing guidebook. If your characters like fishing, might as well pick up a guidebook, especially if you're in the Isle of Kortos. It will give you a bonus to your fishing lore checks and checks to fish. Which, I love adventures. I gotta tell you, I love adventures that start with, let's just go fishing, and then the GM goes, after a couple hours of downtime, let's enter exploration mode. Wait, what? I love that as a hook. It's been a big hook of the Slayers franchise. It was always a big hook. If they ever go fishing, something will happen. I think the anime Reincarnated as a Slime also had a bit with that, but anyway, I do love that trope. I love fishing being turned into more than that. And frankly, that's what a lot of this book is about, is stuff that you'd consider more mundane activities, going to a bar, dancing, fishing, being played up as bigger than that for adventures. Things you wouldn't expect being played bigger than that. In addition to, of course, the central theme of Queerfinder being, highlighting all these different queer characters and allies, writing all these amazing articles. Anyway, so let's move on. We have the Winter Cat Vintage Shop. This amazingly cool shop. If you liked Grand Bazaar, there's actually quite a few entries in this book that come off as kind of like a Grand Bazaar shop entry plus. Like, it goes so deep and has so much cool stuff in it. In this case, the Winter Cat is like a vintage shop, like old clothes and accessories and jewelry and stuff like that. But it also has a speakeasy in the basement. That there's some backstory there that I don't want to spoil in case a GM wants to use it for their adventure. But there's a speakeasy. There's a password to get into it. There's full information here about the bar. There's information here about the menu, including the price of everything, how heavy the food is. The one that instantly caught my eye was the charcoal roasted garlic hellwasp. I mean, that's just so cool. There's so much stuff in. There's the dozing Silvanchi gin if you want a bottle of that to drink. There's some great stuff in here. You have events. The Winter Bloom Ball is a drag pageant. The Inner Sea Dance Fighting Championships, which I know my group that played through Age of Ashes would absolutely adore going to that. The Tournament of Poets. A lot of these you could even incorporate stuff, bring in stuff for the real world, bring in some cool music you have that you feel will fit the setting, or even for Tournament of Poets, you could ask your players before the night starts, like the week prior, have your characters write out a poem if you want to participate in this. I think that'd be really fun. The job board over here has some great adventure hooks. I love how they quickly tag these adventure hooks with these traits. I think that's really clever, just to kind of instantly know, like, help recovering priceless harp, acrobatics, cardland, harp. That instantly tells you what you need to know about the adventure and whether or not it will work for your players. I think that's really smart. There is, yes, Hellwasp Supplier. As an example adventure, you need to find someone in Diabel, which is a city on the Isle of Kortos near Absalom, that where you could get live Hellwasps so that they could serve it here at the Winter Cat Speakeasy. All right. In addition, the author has given us the Winter Cat mulled wine highball recipe, which sounds absolutely delightful, and I love it. Real world recipes in TTRPG books. It's something that I've seen talked about in some discords recently. Nothing NDA, just talked about as like it would be fun to see, and I'm glad to see someone step up to the table and include these. It's impressive. It's cool. They've been putting here modifications for this drink. On the next time, you have a magical romance story written and drawn by Macaw Draws, who you probably have seen all over Pathfinder Infinite, doing their gender-bent deities and other Pathfinder and Starfinder illustrations. Caden Mitneth is kind of this fun romance comic put in here. Again, don't want to spoil too much. Boop, boop, boop. I mean, I don't want to spoil this for everyone. This is still a product that you want to buy, right? Come on. All right, so 541 Lodevico Street. Here we have another, this is a lodge. There's some great history to this. It goes into who the current owner is, who made the original one. Then you have, I love this, full page menu. Again, I am a sucker for real world accessories in tabletop role-playing games. Printing this out and passing it around the table to all your players, it's great. Like, it could be great when you first start an adventure if you just like, you all walk into here and you pass it around and then you use that time for a little last minute prep, pulling out the minis you need, checking your notes. There's so much use for something like this. So often my players will go into a tavern or a spa or something like that and ask what could be done. And I'm just like, I don't know. Like, I'll have to come up with something on the fly. It's never as good as something written out like this. The things written out here, so much better than anything I could come up with on the fly. I mean, grilled wolipede with applesauce, lightly fried wolipede, tender applesauce, mature cheese, crispy onion served in a brioche bun. 2 silver pieces. Fantastic. Spiced fey mushroom hot pot. Note, the establishment's not responsible for any effects occurring as a result of this dish. Love it. Pull out your favorite random fey table, or just say people change colors and start spouting bubbles out of their ears. I mean, there's some great stuff you can do here. Residents and regulars, yeah, over here on the left, you have all these cool NPCs you could use. When they ask who else is at the bar, you have yourself a great list populated with some fantastic NPCs and all their fabulousness. All right. Down here, oh, Yoda in my head. This is the first time looking inside, and I love it. Well, I am glad you love it too. Yes, this is by far not only the bestseller of January. I think this is the best-selling community content book, like, in terms of speed ever. Like, I think Dragonkin and this, I believe, are the only 2 creative content releases on Pathfinder Infinite that are silver, meaning have that many sales. And Dragonkin was out for a little bit longer, so I mean, I don't know the exact sales numbers, but it's between those 2, and both of those are fantastic products. And as a quick reminder, this product is on sale from now until February, I want to say 15th, from now until Valentine's Day. So this is your best chance to check it out. It will also be coming out with some additional NPCs, maps, and other products. I think it's NPCs. NPCs and plot hooks. So, because of the high sales. So, you should definitely pick it up. Talking about maps, these 3 maps do come with the product. I believe they come with like night and day variations. This map shows the speakeasy, the discotheque under the speakeasy, the hot tub attached to the discotheque, which I love it, love it, love it. Information about the whole layout, enough that you could run this as an adventure location quite easily as a GM. I really appreciate that. These maps are fantastic looking. They're really, really good maps. Solid product. I mean, just for the maps alone, this is a solid product. Like, I would expect just any one of these articles like this to be its own product. The fact you get all these articles in here, 78 pages, wow, such a fun product. So, Festival of Mirrors by Vanessa Hoskins. Here we have a really good short fiction. Love the illustration, love the fiction, don't want to spoil too much. But you will probably recognize two of the unnamed characters from Vanessa Hoskins' other Pathfinder Infinite product, Vellum and Lace. So, love that cameo. There's also a magic item attached to this. Excuse me. 1 second. Yes, the True Form Elixir. It changes your appearance to however you see yourself in your mind's eye. They're free at Temples of Arshea. There's a lot of lore in here about Arshea, who fits the overall theme of this book fantastically, and I really appreciate this. I love the fiction. I love the item. It's a great article. And then our next bit here is the Pair of Princes Pop-It Pop-Up Pub, which, wow, I can't believe I said that without Pop-It Pop-Up Pub. Yes, all right, I could say that perfectly. Great. This is another locale, another merchant shop. It includes magic items. It includes specials of the day. This is a pub. How they do it is there's these two poppets who run this place, and they kind of do a theater act to show how they're preparing their special. So, like, they'll have a illusory dragon appear and breathe fire, and it will roast these acorns, and that's the special of the day, for example. It's a pop-up, so it's found all over the place. There's tons of details here about the backstory and the hopes and desires and everything you could ever imagine with these two amazing NPCs, as well as information about the regular patrons of this pop-up. There's complications here, different encounters you could do. There's even this whole really cool subsystem here on reputation, where you could do certain tasks, certain quests involving for or to help out these poppets who have stats right here, to help get to know them and open up a little and unlock more quests, which I think that's a really cool way to do it in a very kind of open world kind of setting. If you do an open world Absalom campaign, this is a fantastic article for that, as there's a lot of really cool ways you could incorporate this simply as my PCs really like this pop-up pub. Yeah, sure. You can spend some time there working as a cook or working as a security guard. If you spend enough time, then they'll start talking to you a little bit about their other things they need done for you. I don't want to spoil it too much, but it's cool. They have a bunch of really great magic items here that the poppets will loan you for one of their quests, and there's prices, so you could probably get your own or make your own. There's a puppet that turns into a illusory creature dragon. There's a book, a movable rod, but it's a bookmark, so it makes whatever book you slip it into the immovable rod, which I love, because I think I'd get more use out of that than a rod. Like, I know you could climb with a rod, but I'd much rather step on a book. I don't know. Invisible strings let you control a willing teammate like a puppeteer, giving it some use of some of your modifiers instead of theirs. There's stats here for the Pop-Up Pub's book itself. Ring of Stuffing, kind of disturbing, but I really like it. It gives you the poppet ability to not take as much falling damage, but you get fire resistance and fire weakness because your insides turn to stuffing for that moment that you fell, and there's some residual effects of that. I don't think I'd want my organs turned into stuffing, but I suppose it's better than falling to death. Not enough peas there. Yeah. Definitely a lot of peas here. All right, there's some content warning over here about one of the side treks, but you definitely don't need to do that side trek to earn the relationship tier to get to the next relationship tier, which I really appreciate, and I appreciate the content warning and the information about it. There's more information here. A lot of these, once you get past tier 2, is major spoilers, so I don't want to get into that in case your GM wants to run this, or you want your players to be able to watch my awesome reviews without telling them to make sure not to watch that episode. Oh, yes, and there's also some very plot spoilery rituals and other information in here, as well as a great ad here for macaw draws on Pathfinder Infinite. Visions and Songbirds is a Shellonite themed story. Another short story, great short story by Ben Joa. Fun illustration here. It's a great short story. I really love these short stories set in Golarion. I really love the fictions. I want more of them. Here we have an ad for Cheliax. Go visit Cheliax. Harpy Holidays took me completely by surprise, like in the best possible way. It is literally a holiday celebrated by the Harpies of the Isle of Kortos. It's kind of like Halloween meets caroling, I suppose is the best way to put it. But it's literally the Harpies come down and go door to door, dressed in bones, singing songs, sharing drinks. I really, yes, it is a pun, Cryptwalker. You're right, Harpy Holidays, but I love it. I love the idea of exploring non-human cultures outside of how can I murder them and take their things. And this does that in spades. It's fabulous. Oh no, the Cheliax ad. Oh yeah, you sexy devil. Okay, for a hell of a good time. Yeah, okay. That too is a pun. I appreciate all puns. Thank you very much. There's a little song here that the Harpies like to sing. And here we have a fabulous illustration of Dr. Whiskers, who was the author of this article. There's a 2-page spread in here about the Queerfinder Society, the in-character organization that your character can join. Helps people all over Golarion find secure safe houses and shelters for people who need help, spread information about them, helping other people out about them. It's a really nice charitable organization. I love the idea of it. They have a unique wayfinder that looks like kind of like the symbol you could see up here. They have little throwing stars that kind of look like the symbol that you see up here. They have a satchel that could hold up to 2 bulk of items that don't count towards your limit and is rather difficult to destroy. And this scarf of emotional warmth lets you feel welcomed and accepted as you would be as a member of the Queerfinder Society. So, in addition, it's only 1 silver piece a year if your character wants to join, and you will get every issue of Queerfinder magazine that year. So, it's a great way to introduce the magazine to your campaign. I suppose you could also say you could buy it separately, or you could join the society and go on adventures, helping people out. All right. They're the Kobold Plushies I mentioned earlier from the Gallant Goblin. Somewhere Over the Rainbow, this one's interesting. I'm not sure. I love it. I absolutely love it. I want to even use it. I just didn't expect it. Like, so much of this is unexpected, but it's fabulous too. It's an alternative test of the Starstone, which reminds me very much of what we've kind of heard about an upcoming adventure that I don't think Paizo's released yet, The Dead God's Hand. But it's an alternative Starstone test, not to become a god, rather more to find things about yourself and to experience possible futures involving yourself. The one that they had here was you go in through Caden's Bridge, and there's some information here about the hazards and the creatures you could find inside. I mean, it definitely has major plot points to be able to see the future. You can do a lot with that. It's a really fun adventure hook. It's also a great way to use the Cathedral of the Starstone without having it be the end of a campaign, because it can be difficult to use it without, like, well, you want to become a god. No, you don't always want to end a campaign with players becoming gods. You don't always want to have to wait to the end of a campaign to use the Cathedral of the Starstone. So I'm glad to see it used for more things than just that. It's a great use of the cathedral. It's a really fun adventure. Well balanced. I don't want to get on the stats too much because, again, spoilers. But it's well done. It's well designed, and I love it. We have another hook here, the Blue Parade. It takes place in the Precipice Quarter. It's an undead dance troupe. It's an undead acrobatic dance troupe. They will attack if you try to stop them, and there's some cool story hooks involved with them. The stats on them are great. They do some stuff that I've never seen creatures do before. Again, don't want to get too far into them, but it's really well done. These creatures are really cool. I love them a lot. I honestly think I'm going to use them. So if anyone from my campaign is watching, please ignore that I said that, because I'm looking forward to probably using these tomorrow myself. They're so fun. And there's a coming soon issue 2 of Queerfinder. You can see that wonderful cover right there. There's going to be a party barge, a big ship, a ship map party barge, which looks fantastic. The Zonzondal article, Desna's Night Market. It's going to be full of recipes, gorgeous art, more queer characters and stories to fall in love with. It's going to be cool. The date up there says Abadius. I can't remember what month that is, so I'm not sure when they plan on this coming out with, but when they plan on coming out with this. But I'm loving it. It's going to be cool. I'm definitely going to pick it up. I want to see more of this. There's big information here about the credits, about each author, where their work is, where you can find more of their work, who they are, what they've worked on before. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful product. Everybody should check it out. Once again, it is on sale until Valentine's Day, but you should probably get it today so you don't forget. I do also want to bring up, before I forget, it does seem related, and I did review this quite a while ago, but I just want to bring it up because, like, people who check this out might also, if you like Queerfinder, you might also enjoy this. It's and I want to bring it up because I talked about a couple weeks ago, the Queer Pride Barbarian. I just love this class archetype so much. It changes the barbarian into something that is more about pride in yourself and self-esteem rather than rage, which if you've been watching my show, you might remember I talk about that probably more often than I need to. I really like the idea of barbarian as a fighter of their own emotion, channeling it to do stuff, not just rage. I like being able to channel more emotions than rage. This is on Drive-Thru RPG, not on Pathfinder Infinite, but I did get the go-ahead to do any compatible products, so I'm doing this. And I did want to bring this up to people. It's a small product. It's by Sasha Laurenor Harving. Glenn Bucky Publishing is the publisher. It's just a really cool alternative. If you love the Barbarian's mechanics, but you don't want to play rage, and you like the idea of somebody who has learned about themselves, come out, and is proud of who and what they are, and you channels that to fight in melee, you should really check out this archetype. I love it. I did an early review on it that you can check out on YouTube. And yes, as Faisal's Men says in there, Sasha is awesome. Her work is awesome. I love it. Love it, love it, love it. Hi, Mark. Oh, I can't see all the chat. I'm just realizing right now. So I can only see the chat that's on my Twitch channel, so I can't see everybody's chat everywhere. So if someone on my Twitch channel sees somebody else saying it, then I don't know what to do about that. But anyway, I'll figure that out later. Finally, I did want to bring up one more thing as the show comes to an end. Total open transparency here. This is my product, so I do economically benefit from this. I did pay for the art, so I'm still looking to. Oh, let me put the cover of this back up here. I do economically benefit from this, but I do want to announce it. My new product for January has come out. It is Star Spinners, Kitsune of Galarian Star Spinners. It is a expansion to Kitsune of Galarian. Book written by Alexander Gunas, myself, and about 5 other amazing authors, all about our favorite ancestry. This book is not exclusively for Kitsune. There are many methods to get your own Kitsune Star Gem, but the book is about using Kitsune Star Gems to do all kinds of crazy stuff. Enhance your innate spells, flinging out your Star Gem at people, hitting people in the head with it. It's like having a telekinetic dodgeball wrapped in steel. Including getting multiple star gems. You could jump on your star gem and fly around on it. You can encase it in different kinds of materials, all kinds of star metals, anubrix, greenwood. You can make it a Caw-Stone and qualify for Living Monolith and use Star Spinner feats as Living Monolith feats. You could magnetize it and use it to pick up items, and you could brew potion alchemical items in it. You can get star orbs that belong to your ancestors and talk to them, and they could help you out with stuff. It's also a way to get a familiar that has way more than 6 familiar abilities, but there's some limitations to how you can use those familiar abilities, so it kind of works out. Plus, you're spending class feats. There's the roll familiar ability if you don't want a flying star orb. And there's even some stuff in here, so you could use a star orb in a special way if you're a shaman, in case you pick up legendary shamans, which was another book that I worked on. So yeah, this was my January release. I had a very short, almost accidental preview of it on No Direction's Patreon chat like 3 days ago. But this is it, fully made, fully wrapped out, edited by Ali Chen, great editor. Art here from Jacob Blackman. It just went live like, I don't know, 37 minutes ago. So go check it out. It's a fun archetype. There's enough feats in here that you could probably just take feats from this archetype once you hit level 2. I think there's for every level 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20. Yep, you could go ahead and strictly be a Kitsune Star Spinner or whatever ancestry you want, but Kitsune Star Spinner, and just telepathically zip your orb around, do these star strikes, and enhance your innate spells. So, with that, thank you very much for showing up. I'm going to show the primary product that we're reviewing today, Queerfinder. This magazine is amazing. It's awesome. I love everything about it. Everyone, please pick it up. Support these wonderful, wonderful creatives. Support this idea. I want to see this hit Electrum ASAP. I want to see so many of these sold. I want more issues of this. I want more information about all the great, wonderful, wonderful ideas that all these creatives have about not only Absalom, but frankly, all of Golarion. So I want to personally thank all of these authors for doing so well and making such an amazing product. I want you to all please go out there and make more Infinite products for all of us, both on your own and through Queerfinder. Make as much awesome material as you can, and I will be here to review it each and every week. Thank you once again, everybody, for watching. Please continue to support all the creatives on Pathfinder Infinite. Use as much of this in your games as you can, and make sure to remember that you have those hero points, because the system is rather unforgiving if you roll a 1 at an opportune time. Have yourself a great weekend. Play lots of games. Have lots of fun. And don't forget to stay awesome.